Here's a look at some of my 78s and some of the 10-inch 33's that I have. Start off with Guy Lombardo Canadian Capers. Nice Decca cover. There's a bit of an evil sticker on that side. Merry-go-round waltz. Rosemary Clooney. Matter of discussion in the lounge sometimes. Mambo Italiano. It's on Columbia. Backside, We'll Be Together Again. Upside down. Dizzy Gillespie and his orchestra on RCA. Lover Come Back to Me. Flip side, Garachi Guaro. If I'm saying that correct, I'm not sure. Nice Capitol Dean Martin, That's Amore. And we've also got You're the Right One. It's on one of these nice Capitol sleeves that lists a lot of other records and gives their numbers. It's a Canadian sleeve, I believe. Here's a nice Denny and the Juniors on Spartan at the Hop. Flip side on an abused outer sleeve is Sometimes. It's Canadian pressing. Here we've got Lena Horne on Victor during Stormy Weather. Ill Wind on the flip side. Love her voice. Got a bunch of Ethel Mermans here. This one's a Ray Bolger. Hostess with the Mostess. That's from Call Me Madam. The Broadway musical, I guess it was, and movie musical. Part 2. Oldies with Ethel and Ray Bolger, who was in Wizard of Oz. Once Upon a Nickel. Here's a famous If I Knew You Were Coming Out of Baked a Cake. Tink, if I ever hear you coming over, I'll bake you a cake. It's so nice to have a man around the house. Well, isn't that prophetic? On Decca we have Kitty Kalin doing I Don't Think You Love Me Anymore, and Little Things Mean a Lot. They sure do. Here's Xavier Cugat and his orchestra doing Dance Arab, or Arabi, or When I Write My Song. It's a nice Columbia orange label. Woody Herman and his orchestra doing Surrender. And The Good Earth. Another Columbia. Nice outer sleeve. Here's a cool one. Istanbul, The Four Lads. This is a great 78. It plays really well. I should have told you long ago. Nice Columbia. This is the Andrews Sisters and Carmen Miranda. Karoom Papa on Decca. Flip side, Yipsy I.O. Listen to this one, it sounds great. I think Carmen used to hide her cocaine in her big high heel shoes. This is the Red Army Ensemble of the USSR. On Stinson. I think it's probably from the 50s. Recorded in the Soviet Union. Bloody Reds, those commies. Better dead than red, eh? Dinah Washington on Mercury. Juice Head Man of Mine. Nice Mercury paper sleeve as well. Fast Moving Mama. The nice Non-Breakable. There's Les Baxter on Capitol doing Suddenly. And April in Portugal has an evil sticker on it for Christmas. Scatman Crothers, Mabel the Lush, and Riffs Blues. Scatman was actually in The Shining as well. I think he was one of the other people that worked at the hotel there, a caretaker or something. One of the last to leave. Judah Line, Ray Noble and his orchestra. Love Ray Noble, especially with Al Bowley. They sang that famous song from The Shining. It's a most unusual day on Columbia. Here's Patti Page doing Long Ago, and the Tennessee Waltz on Mercury. Canadian Capers. It's the same as I've got a Guy Lombardo doing that one. Doris Day. And It's Better to Conceal Than Reveal, Doris Day and Dinah Shore. Hugo Winterhalter Orchestra. Andrews Sisters on Decca, A Rainy Night in Rio. Coffee Song. Here's Glenn Miller on Bluebird doing Chattanooga Choo Choo. We're actually listening to Glenn Miller right now. If you can even hear me over the music, I know why. Foxtrot. Jukebox Saturday Night, it's RCA. Flip side is Sleepy Town Train. It's another Bluebird. Moonlight Serenade. Canadian Pressing. Flip side is Sunrise Serenade. There's a Little Brown Jug. And Adios. This is interesting. James Brown, A Man from Laramie, but it's not the James Brown we know from Detroit. It's the James Brown that played Lieutenant Rip Masters of Rin Tin Tin TV show, so it says on here. It's an MGM recording on Metrolite and Unbreakable, the Kentuckian song. Here's the Ink Spots, Do I Worry? Java Jive on Decca. Xavier Cugat again on Columbia, You Forgot Your Guitar. No Can Do. Ink Spots, Java Jive. Don't I already have that one? Do I Worry? Might have 2 copies of that. There's another book to look at. The first one's a classic. Earth Angel, The Crew Cuts on Mercury. Kokomo on the Flip. In the Orchard, Tony and the Troubadours on Monarch. The Winds Blow. Tony Pastor and his orchestra on Victor, Bell Bottom Trousers. 5 Salted Peanuts, Foxtrot. The Three Sons, oh I love them. Love is Fun. And At the Candlelight Cafe. John Sadley, it's in the book. Part 1 and 2, whatever that is. It must be some soundtrack. Oh, here's a classic. It should be the other way though. It's a nice silver Decca of Bill Haley and the Comets, Rock Around the Clock Tonight. Or just Rock Around the Clock. And on the other side, 13 Women and Only One Man in Town. This is from the Man with the Golden Arm on Decca. It's a soundtrack for the movie. Otto Preminger film. Burl Ives, Old Uncle Ned. And On the Grand Canyon Line. Nice Decca. While We Were Young, Peggy Lee. And Simaloo on Capitol. Oh, here's Roy Rogers doing Peter Cottontail, and Roy and Dale doing Easter Parade. I say Victor. And this is Streamliner by Jerry, I should say George Paxton and his orchestra. And the Whiff and Poof song on the Flip. Here's a few 10-inch 33's before we run out of time. It's what we're listening to. It's from the Glenn Miller story. It's original recordings. Chicago Jazz, Louis Prima, Bud Freeman, Pee Wee Russell, George Brunis. It's Volume 3. Jazz Panorama. The Immortals, Jolson and Cantor. Nice epic. It's got them on each side. Unfortunately not singing together. And we're out of time, so maybe there'll be a part 2. Look out.